Evening, everyone. Welcome to the Scotland-Malawi Partnership Youth and Schools catch-up. It's just a fairly informal meeting at the start of what is a new school year in Scotland. I know the schools in Malawi have yet to return, so we thank our colleagues in Lanthippi for joining this evening on what is still their holiday. I hope you can hear us. There's been quite a lot going on with youth and schools last year. I was involved in quite a lot of visits to schools for a variety of reasons. Some dealing with senior pupils and their higher curriculum. Some people in primary schools just looking to enthuse them, encourage them to think about another country. For that, we have a couple of presentations this evening. From two schools that were involved in a project which we managed to set up with a group in Scotland here. They're now called STEMovators. They were the Young Engineers and Science Club Scotland. And we're going to hear from Ashley in Fortrose, and I think we're going to hear from Nova from Lanthippi as well about the Climate Smarter project they were involved with. I had hoped to have a presentation from Edinburgh City Council as well. Sadly, Lorna Mackay, my contact there, has a personal appointment, so I'm afraid you're going to have to listen to me again when it comes to that. And then I do have just one or two wee things I want to raise, and then hopefully we'll have about maybe 20-25 minutes at the end, just where we can have a kind of open chat, maybe about things to do with Scotland and Malawi in terms of schools. Okay, so I hope that's okay. I hope you can hear everybody okay. I know that Teams can always take up a bigger bandwidth when we're doing this online, particularly in Malawi for that. So I hope everything is going to be okay. Ashley and Nova have said they will actually just share their own presentations. If there are any problems, we do have them here as well, folks, so give us a shout if there are any problems there. And I've got my own wee PowerPoint, just a few slides ready to go as well. So just to put some background on this, Young Engineers and Science Club Scotland, or now STEMovators, for some years now have been running a piece of CPD work for teachers, which then encourages young people from about primary 5 up to about S3 in schools in Scotland. So that's from about 8 or 9 years old up to about 14 to start thinking about aspects of climate change. Before I retired, was involved in this, and that's why I knew about this project. And we put it to them about potentially taking it a bit further. And I've got to thank Era, James and Thomas Wilde, the contacts at STEMovators, for accepting that. So I'm going to pass over to Ashley, who was one of the Scottish schools involved in the Climate Smarter project this year, and then we'll hear from Nova as well.
Super.
Thanks, Ashley.
Hopefully this works, and we can get it all working. No to bother. Let's see if we can get it working, and then click. Hopefully this is what you're seeing just now. Is this us? Is it all came up, hopefully? I'm not too sure. Can we see it okay, yeah? If I go back? Yeah, okay. So first of all, obviously thank you so much for inviting us along. I'd like to talk about the side where we're looking at Fortrose Academy and how their partnership had developed. So obviously, as part of being in Fortrose, I wasn't here beforehand. I moved up in 2022, and this is when the project actually started up here. So Fortrose Academy have been taking part in the Climate Smarter project since 2022, and the programme is run as part of the Science Club every Tuesday at lunchtime. So this is just usually a half-an-hour slot each Tuesday where the pupils can come along and get their little fix of the Climate Smarter project, along with other STEM activities as well. So we had a successful first year. These are some of the photographs from the first year here, where we had a very strong group. group were amazing, to be honest. And both groups had actually came first and second in their Highland Celebration of STEM event, where they both, well, all groups go along and they present their ideas to a panel of judges. And when they go to the panel of judges, what can happen is that they have to explain what each of the parts of the project are. They have to make sure that they understand what sections that they've been learning about, for example, wind turbines, solar energy, things like that. And when they're doing that, when they're presenting their skills and their ideas forward, this just allows for them to actually develop their skills and take it on further. So you can see some nice wee photographs in there too. So after a successful year taking part in the project, we obviously thought it was a perfect opportunity to expand and take the project even further than what we've got just within Fortrose Academy. So we started our partnership in April.
Ashley, sorry to interrupt. Are you moving your slides on? Because I'm just seeing the title slide at the moment. I'm just seeing the title one at the moment.
Oh, no, that's not good.
There we go. That's it now. That's it. See it now.
Should I just probably stay like this then, rather than going through? So I'll do it and I'll click through. It'll probably be a wee bit easier.
That's it. We can see the photographs now. That's it.
Super. I'll keep the photographs up then for a wee while. So this is just some of the photographs, and on the right-hand side you can see the group in their first and second prizes. At the back they've got some photographs as well of how their project had run too. So a great group from earlier. So the partnership that we have just now going on started in April. So we've not been part of the partnership for too long. However, it's going from strength to strength. The project, even though it's still in its infant stages, it's going great. It's going really, really well. So usually we contact through WhatsApp and just share our ideas and some photographs and videos and things like that. And this just allows for, it keeps kind of on our side the project time down as well. So rather than having to potentially maybe create a report or send emails or anything, it's just some pictures, send it over WhatsApp and share our ideas that way, which I find really, really easy to keep up to date with. So when the partnership came about, this is when Mitch came along to Fortrose. I had invited Mitch up to Fortrose just to get a gist of what the project was about, see if there was anything that we could do additionally to support the pupils, as well as support the partnership at the same time. So this allowed for pupils to ask Mitch questions about Malawi, asking maybe anything that they maybe weren't too sure about, what their job role was going to be entailing in the future. And it also enforced this new passion for the project. The girls were amazing last year taking part in the Climate Smart project, but I think this just given them that extra edge and that extra boost to develop their skills and develop their overall confidence as a whole. So this is some of the things here. One, Beth, who was super quiet at the start of the year, who honestly was probably one of the quietest girls I've ever known. She said that she enjoyed when Mitch came in. It was really interesting to hear all about Malawi. She didn't know much about there. So I think that's a nice way to do it. Even though she's very quiet, she's very confident now where she's able to actually talk to other people about the partnership as well as present her ideas to a panel of judges, which I found was the most positive thing that we got at the end of this project. I don't know if my video will work. I'm hoping that we can see the video, but this is a video that the pupils created as a welcome video to our partnership, and just to have a little bit of that dialogue where they could explain what their projects were, show them about the classroom and things like that. So hopefully this is going to play. If it doesn't work, let me know.
Your project with us. We're going to take you for a quick visit around our classroom. We hope you enjoy. This is Cora. Hi, I'm currently programming this microbit. So when I click my fingers, it makes a smiley face. It reacts to sound, and it's very cool. This is Emily and Deanna. Oh, hi.
We are experimenting with different colors in the test tube wrapped with the test tubes. This is a beaker, and this is a cocktail flask.
This is Beth and Jessica. Today we're going to be lighting magnesium to see how it reacts. These are some pressings. And this is our view.
So the purpose of the video was generally just to show our partnerships, just to make sure that we had that dialogue where they could see what was different about our school and their school, and maybe how we do some things a wee bit differently than them, and also got to show the girls' personalities actually coming through and what they wanted to share. So we both looked at the same projects, however, had very different outcomes, and I think this is the main thing that the partnership is focusing on. So when we've got this, we've got solar panels. So solar panels were somebody's favourite part, and it found it interesting that they had different power sources. So even today, as part of the science club, I had actually looked at using the solar panels again, and we tried to use the sun, but as today was raining, we had no sun, so we actually had to employ some lamps to make sure that our solar panels were actually working. But as you can see on our other side here, they've all got the students have got their solar panels working, and they've also got a fan as well as a light on their side, where we can hopefully just try and get a lamp on our side, which usually never works, but we're getting there. So these are some of the photos that were shared amongst each of the schools. As you can see, very, very different from our photographs from before. It's an amazing opportunity just even seeing another school taking part in the same projects as us. Even if we're not sharing maybe data, it's actually just showing that the kit's the same. We're trying to have the same type of outcomes and have the same like broad general gist of what's going on, which is amazing. These are some of our photographs. This is what Katie said. Katie's up in the top left-hand corner up here. So she said she enjoyed sharing our ideas with Malawi. She thinks it really helps with her developing her understanding of different places that have things in common and maybe have some things that are different as well. And then at the bottom corner, as you can see, this is just a little pool where we're trying to see some of these different ideas as well as the time goes on. So this is just part of the project as well. The groups also both mentioned their partnership with Malawi in their final project, so I thought it'd be quite nice to actually add that in as well, that it did have a lasting impact, that they both wanted to mention this in their final projects as well, which is it was lovely to see that the girls really, really wanted to have this as part of their full project. And in last year's group are going to actually concentrate this year on creating a dialogue where, because they loved creating the video so much before, they're actually going to have a vlog each week or every few weeks, where they're going to share the ideas with our partnership school and share all these aspects with them. So it means that that's their project. They're not going to have to take part in the project. They've already done it, but they want to keep up their partnership so much that they want to actually share their ideas and do this as a vlog each week, which is amazing from that. So hopefully I can jump back over here. There we go. So hopefully that's a nice run through of everything. I'm happy to go into any more depth with that one. So if you've got any more questions, please just ask. I'm happy to answer anything.
I think what we'll do just now, Ashley, is we'll move on to Linthippi and give them their chance, and then we can come back at the end, because there'll be probably questions or ideas coming from anybody that's online here today. I know we've got a mix secondary, we've got a mix, secondary and primary and that here as well, so, and one or two retired lecturers, I might put them up, as well, with ideas. So so I'm sure there'll be some ideas there. So I think if we push on, so Nova, are you able to show your slides at Linthippi? We can show them for you if you want.
No, Abange control. He should take control of the slides and just give the
we cannot show the slides. I think you can take control of that, and we can just be taking the presentation.
Right, Charlie, you're going to, okay. Right, we've got that. We'll
Hello.
show them. Just taking time to come on.
Oh, all right. Hello, everyone. Huh? All right, hello. Yeah, that's Lintiben.
Okay.
Lintiben, it is. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Yep.
Yeah, we are able to get from there. Yeah, from Lintiben, this is our first experience to be in this project. And this project started with the receipt of toolkit, which we received, I think it was in May. And then after that, that's when we started the project with the students. And all right. So we are saying, first of all, we, as Lintibe, received a science kit from Fordros Academy in Scotland, which assisted our students to carry out science activities which are environmentally friendly. So we have another slide. All right, I think we have some problems possibly, but I can go on by saying, out of it.
No, I've still got the introduction one. Nova, we can move them on for you if you want.
Okay, I can just go on. Hello. Okay, now out of this, from the toolkit, we had the things that we did with students. We had issues with wind power, where we were measuring power using an anemometer. Again, we were generating power using windmill. We were able to make a simple cell. We were able to measure solar power using multimeter. And at the same time, we were able to light a LED using solar power again, and generating hydro power with students. So we had these issues that we did with students. And we have a video which can show this.
The video won't be able to show it's not in the source.
We have, as you can see from the picture, those that you are seeing, you can see that students were able to do various kind of activities using windmill, using solar. They were able to use multimeter and so on. So the were able to use these instruments with their own hands. So it brought in hands-on activity. So this, we can see that there are a number of successes that we have observed from the studies of what we have observed. They have developed the positive attitude towards science activities. Why is it so? Because the instruments are there, they are able to use those instruments, so they have that now positive attitude towards science activities. At the same time, we are seeing that there is motivation and curiosity that has been built because of this. And they have developed skills out of the project, and these skills that have been gained are being used by students in their various homes and classes. And again, I can say we have seen that the students from Lintibe have been enjoying interaction between Lintibe and the Fortress School. So with the partnership school, they're able to enjoy this partnership. However, we have some challenges with us. Resources are not enough together for all students. Now, many people were so eager, many students were so eager to learn from this exercise, from this project. It brought in curiosity amongst the students. However, there was that limitation of resources. They wanted to have that experience of using these science things, science materials. However, the resources were not enough. We noticed that again, shortage of funds to support some activities. At the same time, not all students were involved due to time factor and availability of funds. Now, on this one, we can say that we could handle limited number of students at a particular time. And then another time we bring another set of students. So by taking different students at different times, we noticed that time was not enough to allow all the students to participate in this project. And the last day on this challenge, we have sustainability due to transfers of teachers and when students finish school. Now, we can take an example with our Form 4s. The Form 4s have gone. They were so curious. They were able to do different things, but they have gone. Now, this one is a challenge. But now that's what we expect as a school, so that they should lead their friends to do these other things again. But now it's a challenge because we need to pass on and pass it on and so on and so on. We are also seeing out of this, now it's now in general, with this partnership, we have seen that the curiosity on science has gone so far. Now we have done other things, other activities that we have done. For example, we have built our own greenhouse using local materials. So apart from science activities, we have vegetable garden and greenhouse where students grow different vegetables for sale to generate funds for paying fees to vulnerable students. We also get financial support from Community School of Australia, that's in the same in Scotland, starting from 2011. We also have a maize project through this budget. So in short, what I can say, this has been a very welcome development to us as Lintibe, to our students. They have learned hands-on experience. As you can see from our slide, you can see that students are in a greenhouse, and a greenhouse that has been made from local materials. They are ordering tomatoes and so on. So we can say the partnership has brought in so many things that are so good. I'm talking with the project, the students were not able to use certain gadgets, but they have been able to use the gadget. They are able to interact with the fellow students from outside through the use of internet and so on. So to us, we can say it's a welcome development, and we wish that this project go on. I think at the very last, I think the video. Okay, let me say I'm not alone. I have science teachers, the head of department of science. I have the science teachers, and our webmaster who are with. So don't be surprised, I'm not alone. I have a number of teachers together with me. But in short, brief, I can say the project has been so welcome, so encouraging to our students. The students are eager to learn, and whatever they have done, we are seeing them, that they are able to apply. Thank you very much.
Zagoma, go on, Billy. Oh, your comments are exactly what we were hoping for, in that it has inspired your own learners, your own students to get more involved. And I'm sure as the link with Fortro's and Ashley's group continues, they'll become even more, they'll be able to inspire each other to bigger and better things. Giacomo, can you stop the audio? Hi folks, the next wee bit, I said I had hoped to have somebody else presenting this bit, but sadly she couldn't make it tonight. And this ties in with another project that I became involved in quite soon after I took over the role last year. We were actually approached by an SNP member to do with setting up projects with primary schools. And this then evolved into a project with the Edinburgh City Council, with Lorna Mackay, who's the education officer with responsibility for global citizenship. Some of you may be aware of the 1.5 Max project that Howard Beck in this area has been involved with for many years. But that's mainly targeting secondary schools, and they were keen to do something with the primaries. So, to cut a long story short, volunteers from what they call their communities of practice group, because the Edinburgh schools get time off every week to work on global citizenship and SDG materials. And we had the volunteer groups come through. So at the moment we've got 3 schools. We had hoped for a few more, but we had 4, but sadly one of them through change had to pull out. So they are going to be working with primary schools in Malawi on aspects of global citizenship. They can pick and choose what they like. There's no prescription. There's no saying you must do this. And again, we're hoping that this will build in the future for us. The schools are actually spread across Edinburgh. If you were to see a map of Edinburgh, the 4 we had were basically north, south, east and west. It was great. They weren't all in the one sort of area. So that project is really just about to take off. They introduced each other. They haven't seen what Ashley did with the video clip. We suggested that to the schools in Edinburgh as well, and all 4 of them setting a wee walk-through video of what their school looked like. So we're now hoping that with the Malawi schools coming back next week to their full time, that we'll be able to really push that project on. Obviously, it's going to be slightly different, perhaps with primary youngsters, and it's up to do with global citizenship. I think the Climate Smarter project is a true example of what global citizenship could mean, or really should mean, with people working together across the world towards the same goal. And this one, hopefully we're trying to get younger people, P6, P7, so we'll look at it, 9, 10, 11-year-olds, hopefully getting a better grasp on this by being involved with people in a different country for that. So that's just a quick rundown of the Edinburgh City Council project that I'm also been involved with, and hopefully we'll see some returns for that before the October break across here. Hopefully we'll see some movement on that as well. Now I'm going to try and share my screen just very quickly, because I'm going to finish off with just 1 or 2 wee pointers here now for some of the schools that are here, and then I'm going to open up the meeting to any questions for Ashley or for Nova and Lanthipi, or just general comments either towards myself and SNP. So I'm hoping, hold on, what have we done? Well, yes, Emma, do you want a question?
Yeah, thank you very much for those presentations. They were really great to see. In terms of the one from Malawi, you said that you weren't able to include all the pupils and you had to make a selection. And I just wondered how you selected who was going to take part.
Nova, you're still unmuted. There we go.
Okay, hello. Yeah, one of the criteria that we follow in our selection, we was on gender, that the girls should also be involved in such projects. So girls were involved together with the boys. So gender was one of the criteria we used in the selection. Number two, we had the idea of mixture of class, mixture of ability. How can in class some do better, others at least they do not even. We have slow learners as well as the fast learners, so we could mix them so that they should at least come to average position where they can do better in class. That is now to assist those who are slow learners. So it was inclusive involvement.
Thank you. How many people took part altogether?
Okay, we had 24 students, 6 per class. We have 4 classes, so we were taking 6 from each class together, making 24. Making a group for a particular period of time.
Thank you very much.
Right. So come on over. I'm going to try and share my screen now. No, I haven't. Right, hold on, wait a minute. Oh, Jings. The wonders of modern technology. Right, I might just have to talk through this, folks. I didn't want to take up any more of your time with technology, so we'll do that. Right. The thing what other things we've been working with, just to raise a few things. Orbis Expeditions, some of you might be aware of them. Don Webb has been a supporter of the SNP in the past. They're trying to expand things. So apart from providing support for actual physical school trips to go to Malawi, they're also then opening up what they call a teacher's recce. So it's up for, this is going to be open to teachers who might want to go, who perhaps don't have a school group or whatever else. Are going to be so that, and we'll be passing it on through our newsletters and that as well in the future. And they also, we did run it a few months ago, and we said we would do it again when the schools went back, is they're trying to organise trips for students from schools that don't have a Malawi group perhaps, but who might be interested in visiting Malawi. This is probably more targeted at 5th and 6th years because they've been going on their own effectively as part of a group for that. But this was targeted as well, and that's actually available on their website. So these are just a couple of things that are coming new from Orbis Expeditions. It's just Orbis-Expeditions if you go to the website there. Another one I've been with, we're Shoe Share Malawi. Lucy Calhoun has been in contact with us a couple of times this year. about this, where they're a group who support sports in Malawi, and they're asking for any donations of trainers, football boots, running shoes that are in semi-decent nick. You know, they're not wanting them with holes in them, they're not wanting with the soles all worn down. So if people are thinking of changing trainers, or if your young people's feet are growing so quickly they've worn out the shoes before the shoes are actually worn out, Shoe Share Malawi would quite happily take them aboard. And if you go and check on their website as well, shoesharemalawi.org, you'll see examples there of netball teams and football teams being involved with it out there. So that's just another group that have approached us to try and get some support through schools. And the last one, this was actually done through myself, excuse me, is the Turing Trust, who are based in Lonehead, just south of Edinburgh here. I had a meeting with Neil Gilchrist 2 weeks ago, sorry. And they will take in any unwanted computers, any outdated computers and they'll refurbish them. They'll flatten them, they'll refurbish them, and then they'll send them on to schools in Malawi. If you were to put one in, or half a dozen in, say, to the Turing Trust, they can't guarantee the same computers will end up in a school that you want them to go to, but they will get something similar. Neil said, you can try and identify that I want that to go to school X, and they say they'll try and get it there, but they can't guarantee it. One of the things the Turing Trust I found really encouraging is they work with Computers for Enhanced Education in Malawi, and the school then would actually pay about £15 a year per computer for maintenance. So if anything was to go completely wrong with computers that have been sent out there, as long as the school can maintain the fees for that, then there's a group out there that will come and maintain the computers, make sure they are still working for that. So that's just another group that we've spoken to recently, and sorry, we're getting phone calls here all the time at the moment. When they're interested. So Neil was just wanting to highlight that. I'm aware that my ex-council Fife, they deal with things differently. They pass on, and Neil did inform me that Edinburgh City Council actually do it differently as well. But it was just if the computers to go, even one, it could be refurbished and passed on through the Turing Trust. And again, if you look at Neil Gilchrist, I kind of hope that Steph Sharkey might be on the meeting tonight, but I don't see her. She was on the original sign-up list for that. And just a couple of things to go now. I have been working with 3 Malawian postgraduate students, Bosco, Elita and Velia. 2 are in South Clyde, one's in Glasgow. I've been working on them on a series of PowerPoints for use in schools and other places, just on the SDGs, and they are solely Malawi based. For that, they're not quite ready for being stuck up on the website and open use then at the moment. I've still got a couple of things I want to do with it before that actually happens. It's been really great working with them on this, and we've actually been out doing school visits. We've been into a couple of primaries, we've been into a couple of secondaries deal with this. They came across and spoke to the Beath group that I'm still involved with. We went to Newbattle High School, south of Edinburgh, and gave a presentation to their Higher Modern Studies class. We went to Knoxland Primary School across in East Dumbarton, whose class do a Malawi project every year. And we went across and gave them some Chichewa lessons and some games, explaining how the youngsters learn to count and everything in Malawi by playing games. And we got some great feedback for that. In fact, I got a thank you card for every one of the members of the class there. Just an envelope turned up one day, and it was lovely. They'd all been handmade for it. And the last thing I really want to push on here is for all the schools, primary and secondary, is that we have a youth festival organised for Thursday the 31st of October, University of Stirling. It's been up on our website. Registration is actually open. That'll run realistically from about 10 o'clock till just about 2 o'clock. Lunch would be provided. We have presentations or interactive workshops from University of Strathclyde, start again, Mitch, University of Stirling. We've got Strathclyde in the brain here, University of Stirling, because they have many ongoing projects actually in Malawi. One will be looking at road traffic accidents and how that's trying to make roads safer for youngsters to get to school. Another one is the use of charcoal at home, because studies have shown that a lot of the young people actually are breathing in rather not pleasant air. Actually in their homes, because using charcoal. And another one at the moment is looking at the use of plastics. Malawi have managed to win a court case, the Malawian government managed to win a court case where they are now actually going to seriously enforce their use of single plastics, or the lack of use of single plastics, I should say, in Malawi. A company tried to get the law banned, but thankfully that's been thrown out. So, and we've got another one looking at from the Children's Parliament at the moment, looking on youth empowerment. I've got a final meeting with my contact at the Children's Parliament on Monday. So hopefully we'll finalise that as well. We're also hoping for another workshop to be put in, just to give the youngsters some offer, an offer. Sorry, they can pick and choose. So we'd expect over the time the youngsters were there, they would get the chance to go to 2 of these workshops, and then get lunch, and then there's a kind of plenary in the afternoon for about half an hour, and then it'll be taxis or carriages, or whatever you want to say it, buses back home, hopefully to get them back into their school area by 3:30, 4 o'clock maybe. Might be a bit too far for you, Ashley, up in Fortrose. Might have to take a day off. Sadly, that it's unlikely that will be recorded, I'm afraid, unlike this meeting here, which is being recorded. For it, it's unlikely that will be done, just because the nature of the workshops and that. We'll all be in different rooms. So I'm afraid that won't be done. But please think about it. We've had festivals here in the past. Obviously, COVID really knocked that on the head for a while, and we're really keen to try and get as many schools as possible represented there as we can, who are actually interested in Malawi. Don't have to have a partnership for that. We're saying that quite clearly, but please remember that membership for the Scotland Malawi Partnership for Schools is free. There's no cost there for it. And if you were wanting to visit, you've only got to email me, Mitch at scotland-malawipartnership.org. At the end, quite happy to come out and speak to anybody on any level for it. Okay, so we've got about 15 minutes left, say, maybe something like that. Any other questions for Ashley, or any other comments, folks, from anybody else in the meeting? Nice to see you, Nicola.
Hi, sorry I'm so late.
Oh, it's okay. It will be recorded, Nicola, so you'll see it up on the website. Anybody got any questions or comments to make? I'll just say the project that Ashley...
Sorry, sorry, Mitch. Sorry. Yeah. No, I just wondered how you would sum up the sort of 3 key issues, because I know sometimes it's tricky within a school environment to be able to take a bunch of students out during the school day. And I wondered how you would sum up the sort of 3 key things that students would learn from going to the youth festival, because I agree with you. I think they've been fabulous in the past.
The one thing I would like to think is have their eyes opened, their minds opened for it, and I think they'll be able to think out of the box. I would like to think that the experience they'll get would be able to put maybe what they experience themselves just day to day as a learner and a sort of pupil in a Scottish school, and put that into kind of context when they hear about some of the issues that are faced by young people in Malawi. And I would like to think then it would actually stir something in them, Emma, that would want to change things for the better. Because one of the things I've thought about the SDGs big time is if people can come up with an idea to maybe solve a problem in a country 8,000 miles away, so youngsters in Fortrose might be thinking about how they can make life in Linthippi easier, then surely they can do the same thing on their own doorstep. And therefore, both Scotland and Malawi would benefit from that. So I don't know if that's answered your question or not. It's certainly eyes open, minds opened, and then try and inspire to try and make a difference.
Thanks. I think one of the things I find really, I mean, when I witness school visits to Malawi, I think it's also the learning from Malawians that's so beneficial. And I think in particular around how we as a country need to de-develop and learn from Malawi how to do more with less. Which I think is really interesting and linked obviously to climate change, and as well as all the many of the other ones, and maybe perhaps that could be worked in a little bit as well about what the young Scots are going to learn from the Malawians that's just can be so life-changing. Also about resilience, as you said, Chad.
It's not just the young ones, Emma. On my first trip in 2016, it really changed my view on life. Seeing that, and I totally agree with the word resilient. I was impressed by the Malawian youngsters and the Malawian teaching staff as to how they just got on. There was bits of the aspects, I didn't want to get anecdotal, but there were certain things that I saw in Malawi on the two school trips when we took youngsters out in 2016 and 2018 that almost took me back to my primary days. I saw girls making skipping ropes out of large leaves, and then just skipping about in the playground in big groups. I saw youngsters pushing a wheel with a forked stick. It just reminded me of Gordon Cleeks they used to get across here. And then you take that to another stage is how they're able to recycle things and upcycle things so well in Malawi too. Very skillful people, very, very skillful. And yeah, I think there's learning for both sides. I mean, yeah, I think I'll probably stop it there. I'll probably get carried away. But just to say, the school visits, we can cover a multitude of things. Some cases might just be about learning about Malawi. It might be the first time they've ever mentioned Malawi. We did this for us with the higher modern studies class at Newbattle. The teacher there, Maria, was very, very keen on. She gave us certain topics what to do. So I gave a very brief introduction about Malawi, and then Bosco gave stuff about the effects of COVID and how people had responded there. Trying to compare and contrast Scotland and Malawi, and then Elita and Velia gave quite a powerful presentation on what it was like to be a young girl in Malawi, growing up in Malawi, to the group for that. If you check the website, or there was Tash, the comms person, that actually took some recordings and that, and they were uploaded. So the stuff's still there if you check back on the archive. But I've got links. I mean, I'm working with the Paisley Pride Foundation on sport for that as well. Obviously, been working with likes of Ashley and Lanthipi and other schools on sort of climate projects. We are still the Climate Smarter project that Ashley and Nova have been involved with. I'm afraid it's quite geographical in Scotland as to where the schools are and which ones can be supported. It's not right across Scotland. Sadly, although the STEMovators, the group that do organise it, we're still trying to see if we can get more funding to support more schools this year. If more Scottish schools were interested in setting up a link with a Malawian school, we'll send the kits out to Malawi again, but trying to find funding for it is proving a bit difficult at present. Is there anything else? Anybody else? Oh.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening from Lintipe Secondary School. My name is Olina Kawaye, one of the science teachers here at Lintipe Secondary School. It's just a comment. We are thankful to the Academy for providing us with the science kit. Our students had a chance of having hands-on activities. However, a challenge is that in Malawi we have rugby classes whereby the resources were limited. We wanted all the students to have hands-on activities, but the resources. So we are happy with the plans which you are coming up with. We know that you are going to assist us in near future. However, we are thankful for the starter pack which was sent to us in May. Zikomo kwambiri.
Zikomo.
Even just to tail back on that, I think that's lovely to hear just even how well the partnership's actually working. From just starting in April, it's working so well that we can share this feedback back and forth. It's lovely. It's really, really great to hear. And I think the girls will be over the moon to hear that you are very appreciative of everything that we're sending over. They are super excited to get started this year by sending over their little video clips. I think they loved doing their videos. So I think they can't wait to get those started again and uploading and sending over more information and everything that we're working on. But yeah, it's amazing. It's great to hear from our side as well. So thank you so much for that.
Anything else? One thing I did forget to mention is I was going to put congratulations because Duncan MacDonald through Edinburgh, the Stuart Melville Junior School. I don't know if you saw the SNP newsletter recently, but he did 10 Monroes in the one day. Right, for that, and yeah, there'll be an article in the newsletter. So yeah, he was up and down a fair bit, about 15 hours I think it took him. But he's managed to raise over about £1,000, £500 of which is going to go to the school that they're linked with, which is Equendeni Primary School. They're essentially an almost additional needs school with youngsters suffering from albinism and other eye issues for that. Duncan visited them when he was out in Malawi last October and just fell in love with the place. So he's been doing that. And the rest of the money is going to the Bepesi Pride Foundation, which I mentioned earlier about sports, because Duncan also visited there. They try and help youngsters off the streets if they can. Okay, make sure they're actually busy looking at sports and giving them sports coaching. One of the main coordinators, Richard Bennett, has been across here a few times, and they're trying to link in with Scottish Rugby Union across here to try and develop that a bit more in terms of coaching qualifications. So, yeah, that was just a wee heads up to Duncan. Well done for going through 10 Monroes. I mean, remember, a Monroe's over 3,000 feet, so it's a reasonable challenge to do 10 of them in one day for that. So, does anybody, anything else? Folks, if there's anything I can do, please get in contact with me. Happy to go anywhere. I mean, I didn't even offer to go up to Shetland, with a school up there, but we ended up just doing it by email, which is a pity. Never been to Shetland before. So I will say that. Okay, I'll say Zikomo Kwambiri. And thanks everybody for attending. Okay, thank you.
Thanks,
See you
Matt.
guys. Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Come on.